Though, and check out a little bit of Time Walk right now. All right, Reed, what do we got here? Stefan Schutz, is playing against Shaheen Surrani.
No, come on. You guys
real.
have to have the names wrong or something.
This can't be real.
Shaheen Surrani playing Burn.
I can't believe it, but that is Shaheen. Like, I know how he handles his cards. This is a language that very few people speak, but I do, which is how you handle and shuffle cards. I can tell who it is.
I think that's
him.
One of the comings of the apocalypse or something. Shaheen Surrani bringing Burn to a legacy tournament.
I feel mildly sick to my stomach. This is not right.
Anyway, here he is. I'm on record that I like Burn in Legacy. I think this is an underappreciated deck. I think it gets a bad rap because, a lot of the Legacy experts are so attached to their brainstorms and stuff like that, and Burn sometimes is viewed as a budget deck or an easy deck. But I think it's real, and it has some good matchups and a lot of things going for it. The matchup we're watching now, Storm, probably not the matchup that you're hoping for with Burn, but you still have 4 Eidolon of the Great Revel, which is one of the absolute cards and the best cards in the format against the Storm combo deck.
This is great, by the way. Our chat has been on fire. They've been hanging out with me while I commentate your matches, and we've been kind of teaming up. But I just saw somebody say, come on, Marshall, take it easy on Burn. And the truth is, it's not even Burn. It's just Shaheen playing it. That's what makes me like, what in the world? I just noticed the user's username is 4X Lightning Bolt. It's like, all right, well, I guess you would say that, wouldn't you?
Well, this one's actually like 16X Lightning Bolt. Chain Lightning, Lava Spike, Rift Bolt. You got access to a lot in Legacy.
Duress is going to take away.
Whoa, what's that one?
Is that Smash to Smith? No, what is that?
Price of Progress.
Price of Progress.
Yeah, I've never seen that art before.
Yeah.
But, man, that's the best card in the Burn deck. That's a huge reason to sleeve up a lot of basic mountains. Price of Progress is a nightmare card for a lot of decks in Legacy. In fact, that long game 1 that I just played against Tomohara Saito's Delver deck, I was trying to stock my hands with Force of Will just with that card in mind. Delver decks usually don't play it, but, if you play a turn 15 Price of Progress against Grixis when they're not expecting it, that thing could do 12 or 14 damage. Looks to me like Shaheen may have either taken some mulligans in this game or just the top of his library didn't deliver much. He only had 4 non-land cards, it seems, and is not really doing a great job putting on pressure. Although, one thing about this matchup is if Stefan Schultz is trying to take the ad nauseum route of comboing off, then each progressive turn, each point of life that he loses makes it a lot harder for him.
How quickly do you know what your opponent's on? Like, you just played against Saito. How long did it take you to figure out what he was up to?
Well, I actually was really surprised when he fetched on turn 2 or 3 of game 1 because my original Thoughtseize revealed some blue fetch lands, a Bomat Courier, a Daze, and the deck that I've practiced against that has Bomat Courier is Grixis Delver. So then my thought process when he fetched Tropical Island was like, whoa, is he playing 4 colors? But then I thought a little deeper, and I'm like, actually, I have no reason to believe that he's playing black. So he's just playing a Temur Delver deck. But, certainly I practiced a lot against the basic version of Temur Delver, but the fact that Saito had some unusual card choices, and even deep into game 1, I didn't know if he was going to have Stifle in his deck. It did make it a little more challenging.
Chat wants to know if your list is online anywhere, or if they could find it maybe after the tournament.
Yeah, well,
will you be posting it? Or?
We've been showing slides of both the main deck and the sideboard. It's also just really close to the deck that I played both in Pro Tour 25th Anniversary and in the recent Legacy Challenge on Magic Online. So you can find it within one card in a number of different places. But check Pro Tour 25th Anniversary is the easiest.
Chat also has been rooting for you all day. A couple of their other notes here. They said they like your suit.
That's nice.
You're looking sharp in the feature match area. Also, somebody said they wanted me to give you a kiss on the cheek for their birthday. That sounds wildly inappropriate, so I will not be doing it. But happy birthday to that person, I guess.
Happy birthday.
Looks like we've got a big turn here from Stefan.
Yeah, so this started with
Schutz.
Reign of Filth, which is a pretty cool card, sort of like a 5th copy of Dark Ritual. Then it was Ritual, Lion's Eye Diamond, Tutor for Past in Flames, and this is going to be a deterministic kill. He'll flashback all those rituals and then tutor for Tendrils. And Shaheen says, just show me the Tendrils and we're done.
Shaheen not really getting close there either. He got him down to 11.
Yeah, I guess he had a hand where, turn 1, Monastery Swiftspear with some burn spells. That's sort of what you want. That's the pieces in place. But burn is a deck that is not resilient to mana flood, and if you draw a few too many lands, you can peter out. Plus, he didn't have that really important Eidolon of the Great Revel.
Chad also wants me to ask you, how's the experience been doing our coverage experiment compared to what you were thinking it might be coming in?
Good so far. I think tomorrow is going to be the really tough day because keep in mind, we recently made a change where we shortened day 1 of Grand Prix to 8 rounds when it was 9 for most of the years that I've been playing. And I also start with 3 buys. So I'm really only playing 5 rounds today. And tomorrow is the one where I'll be playing, 7 or more depending on if I go deep in the tournament. But
and you are into tomorrow now as well, right?
Yeah.
So nice. Checkbox.
Yeah, a little bit of the pressure off. But so far I've been having a great time. I'm sure those of you who are watching noticed that I was pretty drained after my first feature match when I came and joined you after round 4.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I'm feeling energized, feel like $1 million.
Good. Keep it up. Goblin Guide for Surrani, doing what Goblin Guide does best.
Oh, and the 1-2 punch for Shaheen. He had the best turn 1 play and the best card in the matchup, Eidolon of the Great Revel. You won't usually see Force of Will out of the Storm deck, so that's going to hit the battlefield.
Wow, chat's done with this one. They're saying it's GG for Shaheen here.
Yeah, so the best thing Stefan can hope for is that if he boarded in Abrupt Decay,
he did. He revealed it to the first.
Okay.
Yeah, first attack from the guide.
So he'll take 1 from the fetch, 2 from the Eidolon trigger, 2 from the Goblin Guide down to 10. And Shaheen has combinations that deal 10 damage if it involves a Fire Blast or... Yeah, I guess it would have to have Fire Blast. I think Stefan probably should have fetched before the Goblin Guide trigger because he just really wants to draw a non-land card next turn to increase his chances of comboing off. And you see there, like, he knew he was going to fetch no matter what, so he revealed a card that may have been kind of helpful in Dark Ritual but had to shuffle it away anyway. Not that it really matters. He's still getting a fresh draw, but it could have been a slightly filtered draw if he was looking for a non-land card.
There's that Abrupt Decay to take down the Eidolon. Tommy from our chat wants to know if you'd rather make the Hall of Fame and never win a Pro Tour or win multiple Pro Tours but not make the Hall of Fame.
That's a weird question because there's some... I feel like there's some extra stuff going on there. Like
I do too.
I would have to be widely hated if I won Pro Tours and, if I kept doing well and never was voted in. So I think it's an impossible question
I think
to answer.
it is too. I can't come up with a scenario where you win multiple Pro Tours but don't get in the Hall of Fame but are still well liked. It's just none of the you got something's got to give there.
If they abolish the Hall of Fame or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. It's full.
Yeah. I guess I would take that. I would yeah. My answer to the question is that winning a Pro Tour would be really, really nice.
I think you'll do it.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm still there to give you a trophy, too. It's the best part of the weekend at the Pro Tour.
I always like your top 8 announcement.
Oh, that might actually be the best. I love that part. Some of my best memories from doing coverage are from that. I got to announce Luis 3 times in a row, which was really exciting. One that stands out to me was announcing Calcano.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That people were really happy.
I was, too. I love that guy, and it was really cool to see him succeed. Giving Jerry Thompson his trophy stands out as one as well, just as somebody who, had really dedicated his life to the game and really reached the pinnacle. That was really great moment. I remember interviewing Huey after he won the World Championship. That stands out as one I'll never forget.
So here we
Is
see a
Schutz going
move
for it
that
here?
that represents desperation to me. If you're using a really precious mana on the turn you're going off to cantrip, that means you're digging for something. You have to get pretty lucky.
And he's at 4. I mean, I think he assumes that if he lets Shaheen untap, he's dead. So it's go for it or lose.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's make it 3.
Okay, but the fact that he hadn't made his land drop, that makes it a lot better for Stefan. I was thinking that he only had that Bayou to work with in terms of mana, but he's doing fine. If you figure he would have been dead already if Shaheen had Fire Blast, then, this is it. This is the turn that's his chance.
Standard players, 3 p.m. Standard players, your pairings for round 2 have been posted. 3 p.m. Standard players, your pairings for round 2 have been posted.
Chat wants to know what's your best and worst matchup so far today.
Of the matches I played today,
Yeah.
my worst matchup was the mirror match against Yuya, but he got mana screwed.
Mm-hmm. So you
And-
savagely outplayed him, right? And the best one?
Probably Miracles. Like, not that that's a matchup I'm hoping to face or anything, but we have a lot of cards and strategy in common, but I have a couple more 2-for-1s, him to Turok, and a lot of red elemental blasts and stuff like that. So I think I'm very clearly a small favorite, if that makes sense,
See if Stefan...
He has a lot of rituals.
Yeah, can he
Wow,
actually
he's
piece
just
together a win here?
19.
What? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and... oh, my goodness!
Ooh, Shaheen with the 2 fetch lands.
Oh! Unbelievable! It was ritual, plus the Lotus Petal and a pot. That is unbelievable.
Shaheen's big mistake was he got too fancy. He's going to come back, go back to the drawing board, and next time he's going to show up with 18 basic mountains.
You know he is. Wow. Shaheen's still at 5-1 though.
Yeah.
So he's in an okay position, but that was brutal.
Yeah, that was just, I actually really love those games with Storm where you're comboing off on thin margins and you're actually not going through one of your major engines like Past in Flames, but Stefan was able to piece it together. He actually made a really important play the previous turn of not putting Lotus Petal into play, which, against Eidolon of the Great Revel, you might instinctively want to play your artifact mana ahead of time, but he held it, and that was the 1 extra Storm, and he just barely got there because of the 2 fetch lands from Shaheen Surrani.
All right, it sounds like we got a little bit more time walk and a little more chat with Reed. Let's head in and see what we've got. Looks like we've got game 2 of Craig Wesco versus Vidianto Wijaya. Esper Stoneblade versus Death and Taxes. Both of these players kind of known for playing these decks.
Yeah, I love to see this from Vidi because Esper Stoneblade is not a widely played deck in Legacy. It wasn't in our top 15 that we covered with our pre-recorded content. It's not one you expect to see, but Vidi is a Grand Prix champion with this deck. Legacy's pretty slow to change, so if you really know your deck and you're playing a combination of powerful cards, you can do well with it. And it looks like he's well on his way to 6-0, being up a game and thought seizing away Wesco's key card.
We're going to have Reed step out for a moment here so he can get a little bit of a breather and a glass of water before his pairings go up. We don't want to run him into the ground. Trying to have a little more relaxed pace here for our time walk matches, just so that Reed can get a little break in there. So I'm going to invite Rich Hagan to replace him. You're just like Reed Duke in many ways.
In many ways, except not quite yet as good at Legacy. I'm getting there because I'm watching these sideboard videos and all this stuff he's teaching me, and I'm sitting beside him in his
You
matches.
have to know his sideboard like cold now, right?
I'm pretty sure I can just rattle it off, because the thing is, I announce all 15 cards in his sideboard at the start of every one of those videos, so I did it 15 times yesterday in about 8 seconds.
Yeah, it will stick with you.
It really will.
By the way, Wajaya just played one of the namesake cards for the deck here, Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah. The air traffic controller. You can always see her. It doesn't matter how dark it is. She's got the flame sticks, the glow sticks to bring you into land.
That's what you think those are?
Yeah.
No.
It's exactly what they are. If you ever look out of a plane as you're taxiing in.
You know, that's a forge behind her. She's not even holding them.
Really?
Like, yeah, you did.
Is the stuff behind her?
You didn't even try, Rich.
No.
There's like glowing things happening.
Let me tell you, Marshall, if I told you what I thought Magic Art was actually happening in things,
I would watch that. I would watch that.
Oh.
There was a little trend on Twitter for a while of people putting a card up going, did you know that Signal Pest is not a little bug with its head looking to the side?
You see,
that's his arm. And you're like,
that
wait,
is
what?
the best.
Yeah.
I loved that thing.
I do too. Well, you just added one to it. So.
Yeah. As you can tell, viewers, it's a slightly different style of commentary when you have me instead of Reed.
It's good, though. Reed probably needed to get a glass of water and compose himself before his next match.
Yeah, I'm sure you all understand at home. Look, this is the first time we've tried this experiment, and we want to try and be fair to Reed and not impact his tournament as far as we can, whilst balancing the fact that the poor blind fool decided that he was going to come and do coverage at the same time. So this feels like a good spot. He's played 3 rounds. We know that next round, just to mark your card, Eduardo and BDM will have a main match that is not Reed. We will record Reed's match, and then, well, if he's still playing, once we're done with the main match, then Eduardo and BDM will start playing back Reed's match. But if Reed is done, and when he is done, he will join them in the booth to actually commentate on the match he's just played. So you'll get inside his head for all the turns of the actual match as it played out. So another super sweet addition. But we just felt it's time to get him out of the booth and give him 10 minutes just to clear his head.
I've been keeping our viewers updated, Rich, on how the race has been going between Seth Reed and Luis Salvato, and I see an update here. So we know that Reed's 6-0.
Yep.
Do you have any news on how Luis Salvato and Seth Manfield are shaping up here?
Yeah, I do. And you know what's interesting, Marshall, is that there's the second crack at this, because it's a double GP. If you don't make it into day 2 in good shape, you can seriously think about coming back tomorrow and starting at 3-0 again in Standard, which Reed can't do. Reed will be playing day 2 of Legacy. So yeah, Luis is up to 5-1, which is all very fine and lovely. 2-1 of the 3 matches he's played. Seth, though, is at 4-2 and lost his first 2, so he was instantly into the triple must win just to come back tomorrow. And I'm not even sure at 6-2.
Does he just mulligan that away and say, I'm going to play Standard instead?
Well, I could be wrong, but at previous double GPs, they have... it's the Legacy that starts an hour later, isn't it? So Standard would begin at 9, so he would have to drop out overnight.
Yep.
God, it's a tough call, isn't
well,
it?
I'll tell you what.
Player of the year.
The thing with Seth is that while he is in the good seat here, he needs a top 8 finish to improve.
Right, because all his slots are locked up.
They're all locked up, so he actually has to get better than top 8 to improve his spot. Now, Luis Salvato, who's now 5-1 coming in, he's got a pretty wide, I think his last lot is a 1-pointer.
Right.
It's a lot of room.
So top 16 is big news for
actually
him. 11-4, maybe somewhere around there.
I got my eye on him, I'll tell you that, because he is 5-1 right now. And while Reed is focused on Seth, Luis is focused on both of them.
Okay.
In the meantime, VD did get that Batterskull into play against the Death and Taxes deck, and that can be a pretty big deal, though it is worth noting here that Batterskull is attached to a Germ token, which is black. It's not colorless itself, so Mother of Runes actually does work on preventing the damage and life gain and all that kind of stuff.
Are you a Batterskull, I love this card? Are you a Batterskull, my stomach sinks every time I see one kind of guy?
If I have to choose those two, I'm an I love this card guy.
Yes, it kills me. Well, I mean, it literally, kills me repeatedly, because that was, very much I was playing then reasonably seriously, and you see that come down, and it's like, oh God.
By the way, Rich, the particular card choices from Vidianto here are stunning. foil Japanese everything and Guru lands. I like the way this guy
that's very nice.
sleeves up his deck because these are gorgeous cards.
Yeah, we saw a really lovely Infect all foil last week at the European GP.
I'll tell you what,
Prague.
we were talking to Reed, and he was saying that Esper Stoneblade isn't a deck you see very often in Legacy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had these cards, I would also never let go of Esper Stoneblade.
Yeah, fair. Watching the Saito match from beside Reed, I was sort of trying not to giggle because it's all very well someone good explaining to you that I've got lots of 2-for-1s in my deck and I'm going to get up a card here and there. And then there comes a point in that first game against Saito where Reed's just hemmed away the last card for Saito. Reed's got 6 cards in hand. Now, he's not got anything on the battlefield, mind you.
No.
But you just go, how did all that occur? I didn't notice any of that, really.
No. When I chatted with Reed earlier today about one of the matchups, he actually compared his Grixis control deck here in Legacy to Jund in Modern.
Yeah.
Right? The
shockingly, Reed likes Jund.
Yeah. But the 2-for-1 centric grindy type deck, rather than the pure control deck that you might see,
right?
Out of perhaps Miracles or something like that. Though it does play a very controlling strategy, where Jund tends to play some bigger threats in the mid game. So it is a little different, but.
So we're at opposite ends on the Batterskull, but how about Mother of Runes? You see, because Mother of Runes is an incredibly irritating card.
Agreed.
But I love it.
No, we're on opposite ends of that one.
There we go.
Every time I see Mother of Runes, I go, oh no.
Yeah, it's like Mother of Runes is my irritating little card, and Batterskull is
Why is it 1 mana?
Irritating
Let me
card.
counterspell the dang thing, and then we can fight a fair fight, because once it sticks, I'm staring at a whole bunch of removal spells. And the funny part about Mother of Runes is that she tricks you. Because you feel good about using a removal spell on her while the shields are down, but you just use it on their 1/1 for 1. Like,
true.
They still have all their other stuff.
Legacy's full of 1 toughness I learnt by listening to Reed. Also, that's why Diabolic Edict's good.
Sure.
You have whatever protection you like, my friends. This doesn't target.
Yep. I'm curious to see if Vidi can finish this thing off, though, because Craig Wesco now has a pair of Mother of Runes and just really kind of never needs to leave the shields down for any appreciable amount of time.
Right.
I mean, Vidi has a Swords to Plowshares in his hand, and it's not really doing anything. All he's been able to do the last couple of turns are cast cantrips and use Caracas to keep Thalia in hand for Wesco, which is fine. He's building out his board. I mean, his board looks pretty good, but
Caracas is in Venezuela, right? Not Karakas,
one?
but the C one. I think that's Venezuela. Okay, that's the end of the geography lesson. That's all. That's all.
That
I
was
got.
it? Okay.
Oh my god! I mean, I'm astonished that I got that right.
Where's Polluted Delta?
Polluted Delta.
Yeah.
Trying to think where their hub is. It's like, is that Atlanta's? Atlanta, isn't it?
It's
So it's probably like the air over. Yeah, the over Hartford Jackson, whatever it's called.
That is what it's called.
Yeah.
Did you know that that's the busiest airport in the world?
You see, I thought that was Heathrow.
It's not.
Oh no, that's
Based
just
on
the most
passengers.
popular, of course. The most regal, the most polite, the most erudite.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Craig's going to go for the double block with the Mothers of Runes, as it were, and say, I'd like to give protection from white
Mothers is of Runes is.
to the first one ordered up. That means that no damage is going to get through, and since no damage got through, Umazawa's Jitte is going to pick up no counters, and Vidi, what was his plan there? Don't actually know. But he just ended up kind of tossing away a Stoneforge Mystic there. Chat, help. What did I miss here? I guess you got to try. All right. maybe that was what it was. I thought maybe he was trying to get Craig to tap down Mothers of Runes enough to clear the way for a removal spell, but it looks like that plan was not going to happen. Perhaps just desperation there from Vidianto. In the meantime, it doesn't work, and he's going to just scoop up his cards and pass it back to Craig here.
So let's get into Thoughtseize modes. We've got a Serra Avenger there, an Aethervar, Mother of Runes, Swords to Plowshares, Thalia Guardian of Thraben, and a Stoneforge Mystic. I said all those very quickly and correctly. I totally win.
Well done.
Yay, thank you.
You are crushing Empty Chair, whom I didn't mention.
When you say crushing Empty Chair, you mean I sat on them.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, that's
I meant
very rude.
I meant it commentary.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you were just calling me fat.
No, of course not.
Okay.
Empty Chair is apparently frustrated with me because I did not mention Empty Chair a little earlier when I said that I was hanging out with the chat watching Reed's match, and chat called me out.
And MT was like, you're hanging out with the chair, not the chat.
They just said it was me, them, and Empty Chair, and that I was being disrespectful.
A trio.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I don't recognize Empty Chair, so this could get awkward.
Sure. Yeah, don't worry about it. I tell you what, Marshall, if it suits you to feel that you're solo casting in those rounds without Reed and you feel like you can carry that weight, if you want to think of it that way, I think you should, because it can get lonely. So you know, yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
Question mark.
Yeah. That's usually
what
best.
was the word you were saying?
Erudite?
Yeah, that one.
Oh my God, you're so erudite.
Wow. Was that Empty Chair talking?
No.
Okay.
That was me.
Goodness sakes. Swords to Plowshares is going to get rid of Mother of Runes before she can start protecting herself and other creatures from those removal spells. And Vidi's probably going to have little sigh of relief out there, because he basically lost the game to the pair of Mother of Runes last time, and this time he was able to take care of business here early on. Though Stoneforge Mystic resolving is not great news for him either.
I really like that brainstorm. In general, I love the oldest versions imaginable for cards, particularly when they're in use in Legacy. I love just seeing the old cards.
Wait, so which one do you like?
This is the Mercadian Masks one.
The Brainstorm?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really pretty. I
do too.
It looks like she's got her hands in her ears. It's like, not listening, not listening. It's one of those moments, right? But
you have kids. Do they ever do that to you?
What, the not listening?
Yeah. Just block him out. Maybe he'll go away.
They've been known to try. I have on occasion heard the words, "You're not funny, Daddy."
Oh yeah. Oh, that was me.
Which is not. Thought we'd agreed not to talk
right.
that.
I run that retract.
Yeah. Let's just rewind and pray no one clips it.
Goodness sakes.
All right, so Wesco at 21, Vidi Wijaya here at 16. They're both at 5-0, going for 6-0. One of these two could face Reed Duke next round.
It's true.
Although, still plenty of people undefeated at 6-0. So, yeah, great stuff.
By the way, we could see battering Batterskulls here, because Wesco has his on the battlefield, and if Vidi gets to untap here, he could have his own as well, thanks to the Stoneforge Mystic. Although
battling Batterskulls sounds like a potential anime cartoon.
Yeah, I'd watch that. Now that I mention it, though, the Wasteland does put a major kink in those plans, especially in combination with Rishadenport, and all of a sudden Wesco is way out ahead. This could be over very quickly.
Right, and remember, Vidi was 1-0 up in this one when we joined it.
He was.
The reason we joined it in Game 2, we thought we would be close to pairings, and oh, that is genius. Pairings behind us have just gone up.
Which button did you hit for that?
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes. The please make me look smart one time button.
I'll tell you what, this game's over in 2 turns unless Vidianto can find some action, and very, very quickly. White mana would be fine, but so far he can't find anything.
It's time to sing, Marshall. Kezarart's just given me the best line in chat. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, commentating chair.
Oh my!
Which is very good.
I hope we're more than halfway.
Yeah, it's only 2 rounds to go. Only 1 for you.
This game's over, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drew another island. I just don't think he can cast anything of relevance here. Sorry, it wasn't even another island. It was another white spell. He can't cast anything. So he's going to have to chump block with the Stoneforge Mystic to go to 3, and then I guess find a white mana source. Card like Thalia would be good, or Craig could just continue to lean on Rashad and Port.
Yeah, this is Rashad and Port, instantly one of the best arts of all time.
You like that one?
Yeah, I want to go there. That's one of the places I really wish existed for real. I would love to visit that. We're done. Craig Wesco comes back in a shocking turn of events, playing Death and Taxes. I'm surprised he wasn't playing mono blue control, given what Shaheen Surrani did to us.
Oh, absolutely.
What was that about?
I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm not going to lie, my first thought was graphic must be wrong. Hey, this isn't the right feature. What's going on? But I'm sure you know this well. You kind of know what people look like when they handle cards, how they shuffle, how they. I'm like, that is Shaheen. That is him. That's the one casting a lightning bolt. All right, well, we're going to take a short commercial break here from Richmond. When we come back, though, we have more live action with Eduardo and BDM. Don't go anywhere.